How's it going, traders? Papa Wall Street back with a breakdown on the Tesla chart. So it's my thesis that we're coming down more on Tesla. And I know I've gotten some pushback from other traders, but let me make my bear case here for Tesla. And certainly I would love to hear your comments down below. Just keep in mind, I'm doing this for educational purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor. This certainly is not financial advice. My opinions are my own and my own solely. So now that we've gotten those pleasantries out of the way, as I mentioned, I've been getting some pushback on my bear thesis. And just let me explain. I am a long-term Tesla bull. I think ultimately we go higher. But as we go up, so we must come down. And I feel like we will be retracing a bit more before we make our next move higher. Let me preface this also by saying it's beautiful out. I'm here in Brooklyn, New York. I have the windows open. Brooklyn is a busy place, so don't be surprised if we get a guest appearance from a fire engine, cop car, or just a random person screaming at somebody else. So in any event, before we get started, if you don't mind just hitting that like down below, certainly subscribe to my channel if you feel like this content is relevant to you. And as I mentioned before, I would love to hear your comments below. It really helps with the algos, and certainly would love to have a bit of a conversation and state your case if you feel like my case is wrong. So as always, we always start at the upper time frames. So I'm going to start on a monthly chart. And this is pretty much the entire price history of Tesla dating back to, let's look at June of 2010. And so obviously I have two trend lines here. You can see this was the initial trend line. Price has accelerated on this trend line. And now I could probably draw out another trend line here. And you could see, we've got an accelerated trend line to the upside here. So let's make this a little thinner so it doesn't intrude. And please excuse the beeps and the boops. It is in the middle of the trading day, so I am going to be getting alerts. So now let's zoom in real quick, right? And take a quick look at where we are right here. So the way I'm viewing this is as a rising wedge. Rising wedges can be bearish. You can see we broke down from the rising wedge here. We broke back into the wedge here, and then we failed at that wedge one more time. And now here in the month of May, we're making a new lower monthly low. Of course, we're only halfway through the month, so we still have 2 weeks left in May. So certainly a lot of room for this to move both back to the upside or even push even lower. So we have our 50 simple moving average on. Let's throw on our 21. That's exactly where we are right now. And we're closing, for now, we're closing underneath it. We're holding underneath it. So you can see this candle here, we wicked and tested it, and that held. And now we're, let's see, back here we wicked to the 21 and held. This was back in March 2020. This was the COVID drop. And I did anchor an anchored VWAP here. That anchored VWAP comes right into my target zone. And in some of the other time frames, I'll go over my thesis as to why, but very, very easily, this is the 618 retrace for the swing low here to the swing high here. Basically, I'm looking at the 50% to 618% retrace as my target zone. I think that's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Now you could see here, we are coming back down to 50 RSI. I always watch for potential bounces off that level. But if you notice, we're not there yet. We still have a little more room to tick. Sometimes we undercut it. That's where I think we can kind of come into this zone and maybe pop back up. The other thing I'm looking at, got a MACD cross under. Haven't seen that in, well, a long time. And so for me, that's fairly bearish, at least for the short term. We also have 2 months of negative momentum. So no squeezes on the monthly time frame, but this is pretty much what I'm looking at here. Hopefully you're with me. Let's take a look at the weekly. All right, so I'm going to zoom out a little bit, did some Elliott wave work here. That is for the monthly time frame, so let's get that over there. All right, so this is the way I'm seeing this. Wave 1, 2, wave 3, triangle 4, wave 5, ABC correction. The ABC corrections off a 5-wave move up tend to stop at the bottom of your wave 4. That's exactly where my target zone is listed. It's also a 1382 extension off of the A to B, or I should just say the B wave. So seeing a lot of things starting to line up here, right? You have that COVID anchored VWAP coming into that zone. You have the prior wave 4 low exactly at that zone. And you have a 1382 extension to the downside off of that B wave. So again, for me, I'm just stating this case as I see it from a technical perspective. Now, if we zoom back out, you could see we came here into 50 RSI on the wave 2 low, and we bounced. We came down to 50 RSI on the wave 4 low, and we bounced. Well, we came down here on the wave A down, and we had the kind of a little bounce, but now we're below these lows on RSI. To me, we're now in bearish territory, right? You stay over 50 on RSI, you're in bullish territory. You stay under 50 RSI, I think you're in bearish territory. What else can we look at? We got the MACD cross under here, right at our wave 5 top. MACD tried to cross back over, couldn't, push back down. Negative momentum. No squeezes to note. We had a squeeze back here. That fired off bullish. That gave us our wave 5 high. So again, just trying to make my case as I see it. Okay, what else could we look at? So a couple of things. Let me change this over to a bar chart. And hopefully I can make this pretty clear. So let's see where we have those reversal candles. So here you have an outside bar, right, with a bearish close. That's certainly a push to the downside. Here you had a, well, that was just, it's not an outside bar. You had another outside bar here to the downside, pushing it lower. So, and here what we have is basically an inside bar. So basically this bar, this May bar is, or this May weekly bar is inside of this bar, but we opened lower than last week's close, and we're certainly at the moment lower than last week's close. So we're gonna watch how this bar forms, but my outlook is this. Can we continue to bounce from here and move higher? Absolutely. But the minute we get a weekly close under 703, I think we head down to my 532 target. I'll keep that as a soft target. I think it could be anywhere between 500 and 550 before we see a bounce if we break down below 700. But that's basically what I'm looking at. And also on the weekly chart, you have this rising 200 SMA. This is also our 50 SMA, which you can see. If I go back to the candle chart, we have not closed under the 50 SMA on the weekly chart since September of 2019. You can see here on March 16th, the week of March 16th, the COVID low, we tested the 50 SMA almost perfectly and bounced. And if you continue to move, right, we came pretty close to the vicinity, no tests right here. We came here, we tested it, we bounced, we wicked through, we bounced. We did get a little close underneath here, but we got an outside bar reversal to the upside. But look here, now we're 2 weeks closed under that 50 SMA. We haven't had a 2-week close under the 50 SMA since September. I apologize, I misspoke that first one. We did get 1 week close, as I just mentioned here. This little baby close underneath the 50, and we reversed over that. But now we're 2 weeks under the 50 simple moving average, and our 21 EMA is starting to curl down. So to me, just looks bearish. All right, let's look at the daily chart, and we'll zoom out. Actually, look at the session chart, which is our daily chart. There we go. So let's look at a couple of things. First off, RSI right on the oversold indicator, right? So you could see right here, came to oversold, we bounced, came to oversold, we bounced, we're back at oversold. So the question is, do we get a bounce or, kind of a weak bounce and then a rollover? Again, don't know yet. RSI had that cross under. Excuse me, MACD had that cross under right at the top of our B wave. Looks like we're coming down. And that's exactly what we're seeing. A lot of negative momentum here. No squeezes to note here on the daily chart. Let's look back. Again, pretty clear wave 4 here. Wave 1, 2, 3, 4. Truncated wave 5. That's what I'm looking at right here. That's how I'm explaining this wave 5 top. And now you have an ABC for wave A, an ABC for wave C, wave B, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially for wave C, right? This could be our wave C bottom. We did come below the prior wave A, but I generally see this coming down much further. So again, could this be the bottom? It could be, but my thesis is it's not. Once we break below this channel and we break below 700, again, I feel like this target zone is going to come. And what you normally see, like I said, you come in within the wave 4 vicinity of the prior wave 4 low. That's exactly where my target zone is. So that's my bear case. That's why I think we are coming low. I'm open to changing my thesis if I start to see us close above, maybe I would say 860, 870. I want to be back above this center channel. You could see how it's been a fairly contentious level. We undercut it here, but then we bounced. We chopped around here. We lost it. We came back over here, hit the top of our channel from here, from the all-time highs to the prior swing high to the prior swing high. Stopped right at the center channel here, tried to bounce, hit this prior resistance of 941. You could see all the wicks into that level here. Lost it and then came back down and made this new low. So let me know what you think about this analysis. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you indifferent to it? Let me know. I would appreciate any feedback. If you have a different stance on it, I would love to see it. If you have a chart, even better. Pop it down below in the comments. I'll come up with an update in the coming weeks, and we'll revisit this and see where we're at. Take care, everybody. Make sure to like and subscribe. If you like this content, leave a comment down below if you can. Take care, everyone.